Hello and welcome to my whole video talking about new books I am very excited about, but calmly. Grab yourself a drink, get comfy, and let's talk about some books that I'm adding to my library. I have some special editions, I have some, I think, new releases, some old releases that just caught my eye, and I also have a giveaway for UK folks, so I'll mention that a little bit later as well. But if I sound a little bit stuffy, it's because I am. I also wanted to say thank you for your continuous patience with my sporadic and slow upload schedule. It will probably continue to be so for a little while. We're still trying to kick this particular illness out, and I'm on antibiotics number 2. So fingers crossed, because girl is very tired, hence the calm, muted excitement levels. But I am very excited about these books, don't get me wrong. I'm just tired in general. Let me get into the books. I honestly don't know where to start. I have zero system for this. I should have probably prepared a bit better, but let's start with the one that's on the top currently. It's Spice Road, which is a YA to crossover kind of deserty fantasy with secret spice magic, and this is a Fairy Loot edition, and it is honestly gorgeous. I do have quite a lot of Fairy Loot editions, and obviously I'm very biased. However, I still wanted to show these to you. But we have the end papers, but look at the actual edition. It's just so gorgeous. And then the other end paper, it's signed and whatnot. There's also a reversible dust jacket, which is very handsome. I'm actually quite excited to read this and give this a go. Let me know if you have already and if you liked it. This is what I mean by I really don't have any type of order for this, because my next one is a manga, and this is actually 3 volumes in one, but it's One Piece. If you missed it, I'm gonna try and start my journey of One Piece, because it did come up in the TB Avatar in February. I still haven't gotten to it because February can get straight to the bin. I've not been having a good time in February, and not a lot of reading has been done. Some, but definitely not on par for how January went for me. So thankfully maybe that will just even it out, but I do want to get to it. Maybe I will split it by volumes, because there are 3 here. I didn't know if I knew that ordering this, but that's good, because obviously it can get pricey very quickly. So I know this is one of the biggest fandoms out there for manga. I've heard this in mention, but never really in depth until Murphy started doing videos on this, and then we talked about it, and she wasn't sure if it would be for me, and I kept meaning to pick it up, but I kept forgetting. Now Gav is also into it, so I got reminded in my feed even more about it, and I was like, okay, fine, I will try it. No idea if I'll like it or not, but I have had good luck with mangas, and I do love some of the animes, so maybe, and it's been a while, and I really do want to get back into manga in general. I want to find some cozy ones as well. I feel like my preferences go for like sad and depressing and gory, like Full Metal Alchemist and Attack on Titan, to like cozy like my brother's husband. And I think I need a couple more recommendations on the front that's similar to my brother's husband. So if you have any, please let me know in the comments, because I think I am feeling that I'm gonna, like, this year is gonna be good for manga. I want to get into Junji Ito, and I then want to try One Piece, but I also want to have some like on the side, quick, less intense, and kind of palate cleanser, good times manga on the side. And I think I will replace it this year maybe a little bit, the comic books that I normally read, because I've just not had the biggest luck with comics in the last couple of years. So I think I need to just maybe swap a little bit to manga and just see if I have a little bit more like there. So all that to say is that please let me know down below what are your favorite ones, especially if they're not massive long series, because I think if I like this, that will cover that. But I want some like cozy, good times, makes you feel good. Like I hear the Sunspot, I love that one. I still actually need to continue, so that's a good reminder. Oh my god, why am I so sorry? Next, we have the X Hex, kind of fantasy witchy rom-com. So it's kind of like contemporary, but it's kind of fantasy. It's basically an ex like a hex on an X gone wrong story, I think. But it sounds really exciting, and this is once again a favorite edition of the book, and I think it's gonna be perfect. I probably, oh, I don't know, I suddenly want to read it now, but I probably could wait for a spooky season. However, again, I'm trying to find a romance book that gets me back into romance, because I feel like it's been a long time since I had a good one. But yeah, she puts a curse on her ex, and then that ex comes back and her curse starts to affect the whole town. So we're gonna, I don't know if this is a second chance romance, perhaps. I know it's a very controversial, almost not very liked trope. I've only read one book with that, and it wasn't actually that bad, so there's hope. This is Defend the Dawn, which is the second book to Defy the Night, by Bridget Cameron, whose Curse So Dark and Lonely I personally really liked. I've not started on this new series yet, and I'm yet to finish technically the third one in that one, because I kind of stopped midway. I don't know if I ever will. I love the first and second one. The third one, I don't know, I'm not so much. This is the artwork by Lizard, and we know we love Lizard here. And I love the artwork, and it looks very witchy. Next up on the edition front is this set of the Inheritance games. It's an absolutely gorgeous, very sexy set. Look at those colorways. I love an earthy set. We also have the edges, which are very pretty. So let me show you one by one. So the Inheritance games is kind of like, have you seen Knives Out? The first, no, The Glass Onion? Knives Out? No, Knives Out is the first one. It's basically that. It's like a rich family leaving the inheritance to someone outside the family, and then they're all trying to like puzzle it out of like why and what, and the girl is in the whole like middle of it and is terrified. So it's that kind of thing, but more YA. So if you like Knives Out, I think you would like this as well. I just love how they look underneath as well. And we have a bunch of end papers. So I've read the first one, and I have not read the second and third yet. Let me know if it's worthwhile. This is one of those books that I actually did enjoy, but I would be somewhat happy to leave it if you guys don't recommend going into further. But I would also be happy to try more of these. So let me know, and I will act accordingly. And this is the last end paper here. I really hope my camera focused there. So this is actually a Waterstones edition, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I love the cover. I love the vibes. I've heard now mixed reviews on this, but I'm still very excited for it. And this is God Killer, and as the name suggests, it's about a... Look at those edges. But also look at those end papers. It's just so beautiful. It's signed as well. It's like green. I don't know what is it about like settings. It's the same on both sides, but like a landscape. I mean, you'll know this from my magical readathon, but I love a setting. I actually wish it was more common. Sometimes I don't get me wrong, I love character art on the end paper, but if I could pick, I would definitely have it like 50-50 at the very least for character art and also a setting. Just paints like such a good picture. I just love it. But this is a high fantasy, a main character that comes from a family of god-killing characters, and she actually makes a living killing gods and enjoys it until she finds a god she cannot kill. I do, however, unfortunately have a sticker here that I'm struggling to peel off. Can this stop already? What is this madness? Why does it continue year after year when nobody likes it? Anywho, I know there's ways to remove it. I'm just tired. So who has the energy? So yes, a giveaway. There's a post on my Instagram. So I'm collaborating with HarperCollins, which is a publishing house in UK. They asked me to curate a list of 10 books that they would then send to me, and then I will post something about it so people can sign up for a giveaway, and then one person from the UK will win the whole bundle, which I think is really fun. It's not paid, it's not a sponsorship. I wasn't supposed to mention it here, but I just think it's like a fun opportunity to win 10 books. And I'm very happy about the list of books that I picked. Link the giveaway down below as well, like the link where you sign up is like a system. You only need to sign up for their mailing list. I think that's literally it, and then you enter the giveaway. So I just thought I would mention it here in case you are not on Instagram and you missed it. And also please follow me on Instagram. I'm normally active there even when I'm not active here because it's easier. I thought I'll shout it out in case you want to win those books. So some of these you will recognize because I wanted to make it a mix of the books I know I loved and read, books that I know a lot of people know and want. A version of this is there too. So there were a couple of books that I didn't own yet and I found very exciting. I think, you know, obviously some people will know about them, but some of them I feel like not as well known, and I'm just very excited. It sounded really cool for the synopsis. Anyway, it definitely is a known book, but it's called I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. I've still not read Foundation by the author, but somehow I still remain hopeful that I will love it, and I just wanted this edition because it looks cool and I'm hoping I'll love it. And if I don't, it's something that Logan will read as well, so at least we'll get 2 reads out of it. If it goes south, but hopefully not. The next one I actually did not expect it to be so massive, but it sounds right up my alley. I just did not expect it to be so bricky. But it's called The Rise and Fall of Dodo. It's giving a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, and also just, you know, like a silly sci-fi, but also with like time travel, because this is basically agents of Dodo trying to go back into the past to keep the magic alive. So it's fantasy, it's sci-fi, it's, I'm assuming silly because like it's literally called Dodo. Stands for Department of Diachronic Operations. This is written with genius and complexity. This vividly realized novel will make you believe the impossible and question the very foundation of the modern world. And I did look up on Goodreads and it seems to have really positive feedback. So I'm just excited. I feel like I have seen this around, but I just never really clocked onto it properly. The other one from that list is Dead Romantics. I did hear about this, obviously. It's about a ghostwriter who writes romance novels, but after a bad breakup does not, like, finds that she struggles to believe in love and obviously would struggle to work. And she goes to a hometown and actually sees a ghost of her very much dead editor. Okay, this next one looks so fun and I'm so excited to read it. And it says Your Pocket Travel Guide to the World of Science Fiction and Fantasy, Notes from Small Planets. It's a very fun hardcover book as well. I think it is meant to be quite humorous as well. It's like short inserts, like an encyclopedia for sci-fi and like this planet. And it just looks like it's a very different format, which I always like. I like when books are formatted in unusual ways, and it's almost like literally like a guidebook, what it says that it is. This one I know the least about and I think is the least read. Again, the reviews were really good. So if you have read this, please let me know, because I still don't even know what to expect exactly, but I do remember that the reviews is what really hooked me in and I'm excited. Actually, there's another book here that is included in that list, and that is 5 Survive, thriller from Holly Jackson, who wrote Good Girl's Guide to Murder. I'm very much anticipated reading this. I have heard that it's quite different, so I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because I did really enjoy Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so... And I think this one is set in America. We'll see how that goes, and that's how it looks underneath as well. I did not even see that. But yeah, it's something to do with the road trip, which, you know, would make the sense. The cover would make sense. Hey, another special edition is The Last Tale of the Flower Bride. This was in the adult subscription box from Fairloot. These edges are probably one of my absolute new favorite ones. It's just so stunning. These end papers as well. I can't. The whole book is just stunning. There's something about stained glass that I love. I have one of my bookmarks that is in a stained glass design, and is still one of my favorite ones. It's supposed to be like a gothic tale. They pitch it as a mixture of Mexican Gothic and Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. So it's very flowery, I guess. It's very atmospheric, which doesn't necessarily would well to me, especially as I didn't love the previous book, The Gilded Wolves, by this author, but the vibes seem immaculate. So maybe, and I'm excited to give it a go. I also have a mystery book. This is by Christina Lauren, who I seem to be accumulating books to a silly extent, especially since I've not actually read a single one. I really need to, at this point I think I have a whole videos, like separate videos worth of books. Maybe I should do that. Let me know if you would want to see a vlog where I just read all of the ones that I have, because I think I have like 3 or 4 now. But this one is called Something Wilder and looks like this, and it arrived in my PO box with no note. So whoever sent this to me, thank you very much. It'll also let me know who you are, because I am at a loss. Which again seems like a second chance romance. It's about an ex she's never forgotten but never forgiven, and they come back to her life and something happens and the guy wants to reconnect. So yeah, it seems like a secondhand. Why do I keep saying secondhand romance? That just does not sound right. Second chance romance. Secondhand romance. Then I have this short book called We Can Never Leave This Place by Eric LaRocca. I think I might be mispronouncing that, which is a short horror story. I've read one by them before, which was Things Have Gotten Worse Since we last spoke, I don't know, one of those. It's supposed to be around the themes of inherited grief and family traumas, so yay, good times. I don't want to know too much about it. It is a fairly short read, and I think if I know too much, it'll just give it all away, and then what's the point of reading it? Okay, very similarly to Emily Henry, but with a bit more solid trust that I will love the first one, because my favorite movie is set by this short story by this author, and this is the second short story collection, which, have I read the first one? No. Why? I think it's just one of those books that I'm afraid to read, because I keep saving it for like a hard day, but I've only had hard days, I feel, so I do not know what am I saving it for. Something to live for, I guess. But I do now have the second one, so maybe this will alleviate a little bit of that, oh, I can't read it because what else am I gonna look forward to? Oh my, this is depressing. Anyway, but now I have the second one, so maybe I can finally read the first one, and it's called Exhalation, which is a cool cover for that, because obviously it's like lungs. Again, it has like multiple shorts. Oh, I saw something. Was there a picture? No, I think it's just a header. But very excited. Let me know if you have read this. Don't tell me anything. Cool. As in like, what's the stories are about. I want to go into that blind, which happens to me often, because that's how I love to consume some stories that I have more faith in, and I don't feel like I need to know too much going in, because I'm basing what I liked on before. It doesn't make for a good haul, however, for you, because I'm not very informative on those occasions. Oh, this is for a vlog. I am not telling you what that one is. So this is extremely exciting. It's called The Things We Do to Our Friends. I love the cover, actually. I'm a big fan of these type of covers. It's a dark academia, but it's also set in Edinburgh University, which is also really cool because I live in Edinburgh. I love Edinburgh. And I like dark academia. Other than knowing that this person just started university here and then meets this charismatic group of friends and gets roped into what I'm assuming is going to be like a weird power dynamic, maybe secret society, the synopsis is actually very vague and very, very short. So it really doesn't tell you much about it, but the tagline is, how much is an extraordinary life worth if others have to pay? So it's definitely a little bit more of a, it does say dark academia than twisted friendships in gothic Edinburgh. What more could you want? I'm very excited about this one, actually. This one sounds really fun in the most, you know, life happens type of ways, and it's called Really Good, actually. And it's a book about, you know, when you really are not good, but someone asks you how you are and you can't answer anything else but great, I'm living life. And that's what you know. Stuff is really bad. It's about a woman who gets divorced 608 days after she marries and then falls into can't afford her rent, and her obscure PhD is going nowhere, and soon she's taking up sadness hobbies and getting back out there and oversharing in group chats, and it's supposed to be like razor sharp humor. Wait, it can go either way. It could be cringe and miss the mark and be, you know, haha relatable, or it can be haha relatable. So, I don't know. It will be interesting to find out, but I think it's a good one to have on my shelf because I am a mood reader. And if the mood strikes, this could be a perfect one. And also if I'm doing a color wheel, very orange. which is a color that we struggle with, so, you know. Okay, this one sounds really bizarre. It's called The Mysterious Case of the Alperton Angels, and the book is about a cult. Everyone knows the story of the Alperton Angels, the cult who brainwashed a teenage girl and convinced that her newborn baby was the Antichrist. Someone then, you know, got to their senses, and the mother and the child got out, but no one really knew where. And now I think 2 decades later, a true crime author is writing a book on this, and there's like a rival one that's also trying to uncover this mystery and find them, and find out that the truth is much darker and stranger than they'd ever imagine, and they have to like work together, so there's probably that. It sounds like it could be one of those that is extremely gripping and is hard to put down, and that's what I'm kind of hoping for. So it's good to have, again, for when the mood strikes. Oh, what's under your cover? This is how the end papers look like. Oh, tis red. I've seen this cover before as well, but it really reminded me of the Thursday Murder Club, and I just thought it was gonna be automatically those kind of vibes, and it does not sound like it, even though it is a murder mystery kind of thing, I guess. Is there a murder? There is a murder, I think. Anyway. So we recently, same as half of the world, maybe more, got into The Last of Us. I wanted to play the game for a very long time. I still haven't, which is sad, but we have been really loving the show. And we actually talked about, oh, imagine what if it was like in the animals and you couldn't eat the animals, and then probably people would start like eating each other just rather than not consuming meat. I don't know how we got to that point. But anyway, we sometimes just start talking about like weird hypotheticals. And I think that's pretty much the plot of this. Tender is the flesh. Something happens to the animals that you cannot eat them, and then people start literally growing humans to be meat. Yeah, the business of slaughtering humans, only no one calls them that. He works with numbers, consignments, processing. One day he's given a specimen of the finest quality. He leaves her tied up in an outhouse, a problem to be disposed of later, but she haunts him later. So anyways, this is gonna be a very much Black Mirror type of episode in a book, and I'm excited, if that's the correct term for it. Because obviously it is all fucked up. Speaking of Black Mirror-ish type of speculative fiction, my favorite type of fiction, at least I hope that's what this is, but the book called The Measure. It's just a regular day, except that there's a box outside your door that contains the exact number of days you have left to live. Whether you open it or not is entirely up to you, but that is the new reality we are set in, and obviously we're following some people that I think opened it, I want to say. Maybe some didn't, and how that would impact their life. I'm very excited about this. It seems very promising and interesting and different, although actually quite similar, but hopefully better, I'm sorry, then They Both Die in the End. I did enjoy it, which is like a similar type of scenario where people know that when they die. This is another Fairloot edition with like these cutouts and this underneath the jacket. I feel like y'all know about this book, so I'm just gonna put it away. I just thought I'll mention it after that because it felt fitting, because I got that. And it has these edges as well. Then we have another short story, A Prayer for the Crown Shy by Becky Chambers. I didn't love the first I did love the first short story that I read, because I loved it so much. I gave it 5 stars. It was To Be Thought Fortunate, and the other one, god damn these titles though, A Tale for the Wildborn or something like that, you know the one. I didn't love as much. I love the idea of it, but I just thought it was the same kind of idea throughout the whole thing. It didn't need to be like, it could have been just like a page anyway, but that doesn't mean that I'm not gonna try this one. So this is a third one, A Psalm for the Wild Bill. Sorry, that was the one. Oh, so it's following the same people. However, hopefully we have slightly different themes, so I'm still gonna give it a go because I feel like I just got to, for Becky Chambers. So this is actually a memoir, and it talks about complex PTSD and how that shaped this author's life. The author is Stephanie Fu, which I don't think I know, but that never stopped me from enjoying a memoir before. If anything, maybe helped, because I come in with like no expectations, but I've heard good things about this book, and I'm obviously interested in mental health. I did study psychology, so it's still very much a topic that fascinates me, and I all the time love to know more, and personal accounts are just as valuable as research sometimes. not in the same way, but still very valuable. And it's called What My Bones Know, and I think I'm gonna save this for a time that I can handle it, because obviously it's gonna be very personal, very sad in parts, so definitely not to be messed with when you're in the wrong mindset, but excited for that. So I mentioned manga before, and I mentioned Junji Ito, and we do actually have another book here by the author. I think me and Logan picked it up in the bookstore completely randomly just because we saw it, and it really pulled our attention just from the art, and it is called Venus in the Blind Spot, which I think is just such a fun name. And you have this on the other side as well as some art on the hardback. I did scan this to look at the synopsis when I was at the store. Now I can't find it on the actual book, like the synopsis, but I know it's like very sci-fi-y. At least I hope so. Now I'm not too sure. Whatever it was, it obviously pulled our attention, and I thought that it was worth a try. So I don't know, I might even try this first before Tomi or Uzumaki. I definitely need to stop buying books by the same authors before trying them, but it's another one like Taechang that I just feel like I'll love it. I just feel like it's not a risk, but then that's just like a dumb bitch behavior. I think I should not put so much faith in strangers, so I really should. I will stop. You heard it here first, I will not buy any more books by those authors before I read it. This is, I think I got this in a Illumicrate box, I believe. It's called The Red Scholar Awake. It looks like this, and it is a sci-fi, so you know I'm excited. It has beautiful end papers as well, and this at the front. But the main thing that excites me is the fact that the two characters named in the synopsis, one of them is like a data analyst, bot maker, data analyst, mother, scavenger, and the other one is a sentient ship. And truly, in the most honest way possible, say less. I will be trying this. This book is called Insomnia, and I do believe it was gifted, but I cannot find this little leaflet, so I'm so sorry, but thank you. I will read it from the back because it's also very vague, other than there's like insomnia, and I believe this is very much horror. And also, I love this bit that it says a gaslighting masterclass. That just sounds fucked up, and I do love those kind of books. And it says there's someone in the house, it's not a complete thought, but something feral, more instinctive, and I sit up, suddenly awake, my heart racing. My skin has prickled, something woke me, not a dream, something else. And then the inside is like, Emma can't sleep, check the windows. It's been like this since her big 40 started getting closer, locked the doors. Mother stopped sleeping just before her 40th birthday too. She went mad and did the unthinkable because of it. Look in on the children. Is that happening to Emma? Why can't I sleep? Guess we'll find out. Also got a Fairloot edition of Daughter of the Moon Goddess sequel. It is absolutely stunning. I have extremely beautiful end papers to beat. Then last but absolutely not least is a book called When Women Wear Dragons, and this is taken quite literally. In a society where women are taught to be silent, submissive, just like quote-unquote well-behaved, so aka our society. I'm assuming this is going to be a lot of social commentary. This is the world though where, if I understand it correctly, women did genuinely turn into dragons. This is when hundreds of thousands of ordinary women sprout wings, scales, and talons and take to the skies in a blaze of fire and fury. 8-year-old Alex Green is one of those left behind, and no one will talk about what happened. Best forgotten, everyone says. What I'm expecting from this book, which obviously could be wrong, but it's gonna be social commentary meets female rage. Here for it. But that is it for this haul. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if there are any books that you're excited for as well, or maybe have already read and enjoyed, or maybe already read and found it quite disappointing. I would love to know either way. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you are all well. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Who knows at this point, but hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you again. Stay awesome, stay kind, and yeah, bye. Bye.